Dear Diary, today I took the first step in becoming an ADHD coach. I can't actually quite believe it. I want to learn, grow, and build something extraordinary. I think this journey will be the Indigo Diaries. Dear Diary, welcome world to the Indigo Diaries, and welcome to our exciting new series 2, The World Through a Trainee's Coach's Eyes. And that coaching training is me, Tasha Hickling. The Indigo Diaries is a podcast for those who want to learn about ADHD through others' experiences. So welcome back, everyone. And last week we talked about my experience with ADHD life coaching, and this week we're going to get started in a minute. This week's been quite a good week. I always check in and give like a success at the start. This week's been quite a good week. There's been certain life situations with what's going on in the world right now that have become quite challenging for us over in Malaysia. But it just reminds me of how important it is to have, and so essential to have outlets of passion and having purpose. And this podcast and my coaching, my training and everything is really keeping me going. And it's such a difference to last year when we were in quite a similar situation. I didn't have that. And it's just showing you that it's really, really essential, especially for me to have that. So I'm keeping going, and that's my celebration this week, that even with the certain life situation, I'm still keep going. So the last few weeks, we've been talking about what an ADHD life coach is, kind of what the process is, the difference between ADHD life coaching and other things, and then an experience. Today, we're going to be looking at how and where to find an ADHD life coach, okay? So where and how to find a life coach. And this is probably the biggest questions that I always get asked. There's lots of places like, Google. I know you search on Google ADHD life coach, but then how do you know first that they're the right coach for you? And then how do you know second that they are officially a qualified coach? And I just want to say that this is from my experience and what I've seen and what I've learned and what I've heard on my course and from seeing things online, is that there are many people out there that use credentials that don't have the credentials and say that they're an ADHD life coach that don't have the credentials and have not done the training. And I think that that's really sad, because people like myself and all the people on my course and other people, ADHD life coaches, sometimes people can see ADHD or life coaching as not as an important essential service because of people that do portray that they are an ADHD life coach and then they're not, and they appear that they're not. So it is very sad for the rest of us, and it is sad for people because people just want help at the end of the day. So I just want to kind of just say at the beginning of this, say that there are people out there that say that they're not who they are, or they say that they're an ADHD life coach, but they can't tell you where they've trained, or their training is not substantial enough. So there's actually 3 places that I found that do accredited ADHD life coaching course. Okay. And I'm going to tell you those 3 now, and I'll put all their websites below. So number 1 is ADCA. That's probably the biggest one, ADCA, which is the ADD Coach Academy. Okay. That's where I did my first training, and that's where I will go back because I want to do an elective course. The second one is the IACT. So that's the International ADHD Coaching Training Center. That's where I'm doing my official coach training. And the last one is JST Coaching and Training. Okay. And what I mean by they're accredited is they're all accredited with the ICF. And we spoke about this a few weeks ago about the ICF is the International Coaching Federation. And it means that all those 3 training facilities meet the requirements of ethics and core competencies of a training center with the ICF. So you can get accredited coaches, but then you get accredited courses. And those 3 are the accredited courses with the ICF that are specifically for ADHD life coaching. There are many other training centers, I want to say this, that are accredited with the ICF, but these 3 are specifically for ADHD life coaching. Okay, so If you want a life coach, just a general life coach, it doesn't have to be specifically ADHD, then check, okay, if their course has been officiated with the ICF. Have a look. Is it accredited? Okay. Has it been okayed by the ICF? Because the ICF is what you want. Okay. They are the biggest and only international coaching federation there is in the world. Okay. They have many different levels of accreditation for courses and for coaches. So you get courses and then you get actual coach accreditation. And they are the ACC, PCC, and MCC. But I'm not going to go into that. I've put the details below if you want to go into that. I'm not going to go into that. But I think that it's important if you see that ICF on someone's website, you know that they've done training or that's accredited or that they, as a coach, are accredited. When yourself as a coach goes to get accreditation, you have to meet a certain amount of requirements that fits in with the core ethics, okay, the ethics and the core competencies. So where to find one is next. So that I just wanted to mention that because it is really important when you're looking at coaches about looking at their credentials of where they've trained and looking at, so, you know, it is a lot of information to take in. But if you say ICF accredited or you want an ADHD life coach and you see one of those three places, the ADCAR, IACT, or JST, then you know they're accredited courses and they are legit and accredited ADHD life coaches and ICF for life coaches. Okay, so where do we find one? You know, that, you know, we know kind of what they need, but where do you find one? So all the coaching courses I've mentioned before have their own list of coaching. So like I mentioned, ADCA got their own listing, you know, I have the JST have their own listing of their coaches. But there are also other places to go and have a look. Like this CHAD website, there's the ADA website, there's Attitude. But my favorite place is the ACO. That's ADHD Coaching Organization, okay? Is the best place to go. And I've also put that link below. On their website, every coach has to put a short description about themselves, their credentials, and website of where you can find out more information about them. And what I like about it is you can do a search. So if you want to search, if you want to do coaching in person, you can search that. If you want a specific field, you can search for that. Okay. And it tells you, you know, their specific field. It tells you if they work on home or online, and it's fantastic. So go on to ACO and have a look for a coach. Okay. And after the break, we're going to talk about the actual process of what people go through when they get a coach. Okay. So we've talked about kind of the credentials and where to find one. You will never go wrong with going on the ACO. It's probably one of my favorite places to go because it just has such nice brief information about all these different coaches, and really a lot of them are from those three organizations. Okay. And they're specifically for ADHD life coaching. So why not? If you're having to think about it, why not go on to ACO tonight and have a look? Why not? What have you got to lose? I'll see you after the break. And we're out. If you would like any more information on Indigo Hub or our Indigo support group, then please check out our website below or our link to our social media platforms, or email at indigohub.adhd@gmail.com. If you would like to offer any comments, feedback, get support, or if you're interested in the world hearing your story, then please reach out through any of our avenues. As said before, have a positive week. Check in again later. And we're out. The Indigo Diaries. We're back, and before the break we were talking about the specifics of what a coach needs, some accredited training centres, and where to go and find a coach. Now we're going to be talking about the process of getting a coach. So what you need to figure out is what sort of coach you want. Okay, because some coaches are kind of general ADHD life coaches, then you've got some coaches that are life coaches, some coaches, because a lot of coaches go into specific fields based on their own experience, based on a niche that they find that they want to work in, something they might be interested in, or a market that they think that is really essential. The main ones that I've seen is kind of family coaches, ones that work with children, adolescents, families, parent coaching, executive function coaching, career coaching, actually specifically ADHD life coaching. And then you might want groups. Some people do one-on-one coaching, some people do group coaching, where it's more of a group environment, accountability, things like that. And then also some people do programs where it's more like kind of script, for specific things. So you might go on a course, you might join a group for clutter, or you might join a group for organization. Okay, so they have like programs. Okay, and it's kind of, you got to kind of figure out. And what I like about the ACO, which is what we talked about before, is the ACO has specific, it tells you what that coach is specialized in. And it's really nice that it does that. Okay. And ADHD is one specific one. But then even within that, even within ADHD life coaching, there is even more fields, like I said, with the family, the parents, adolescents, adults, older adults, groups, programs, careers, transitions. There are so many fields. So it's kind of figuring out before you go, what do you want to get out of it? If you want to work with your kids, then try family coach. If it's just for your children, then try children and adolescent coach. If you want executive function coaching, go for that. Career, anything else. If you want prefer group, try that. And it's just about finding where the specific niche that you want. Okay, so have a real big think about that. Just reach out. You can just get general coaches, that just do adults and things like that. So it's really looking at what specific niche you want. And my next advice is to reach out to more than one. Okay. Most ADHD life coaches and life coaches, and I'm not speaking for everyone, I'm just speaking for myself and ones that I've seen, that most offer free consultations. So what is that? A free consultation might be 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, where you meet them for absolutely free. You find out a bit more about them, they find out a bit more about you, and kind of what you want to get out of it. And then you kind of come to an agreement. Do you think that we're going to be right for each other? Have we got the right sort of relationship? Can the coach offer what you need? Are they do you fit together? Because it is a partnership. So you've got to see if that relationship can build. If it can't, then, maybe go into another coach. That's why I think it's really, really important to explore just more than one coach, because then you have options. Okay. Explore and find the right one before committing. Before you commit, that's why I really like that they offer free consultations, but because before you commit, you've already met them and seen if it's going to work. So things to think about during the session. Okay. Things to think about. You might want to think about the times that they are available. If they live in America, but you live in Asia, the times may not line up. Okay. So times where you can actually meet your coach. Their process, is it very structured? Does it fit what you want? Is their partnership going to work? Do they have like a certain procedure? Are they offering what you want? Okay. The next one is accountability. So accountability, if you need to check in with someone, do they offer that? We talked about some offer, WhatsApp messages, some offer emails. Do they offer that accountability if you need it? Then if not, then maybe group coaching as well, or someone else. Extras. Some coaches offer extra assessments or extra little things on top of just the everyday coaching. Pricing. That's a massive one. What if someone is too expensive and not in your pricing? We want it to be bonus. We don't want it to bankrupt us. Okay. Pricing. And I just want to mention, when it comes to pricing, that people that are further up their accreditation usually are more expensive. And I mean, it's just, if you find the right person and it's the right price for you, then that's great. but just really looking at pricing packages. Some offer packages, 6 weeks, you get this. If you pay for 8 weeks, you get a discount. So looking at packages, locations is a big one. Like I want to work with international clients, but some people you might want to meet in person. You might want to meet, online. You might want to just call on the phone. So you might want something that, you might want someone that's in America. If you're American, you might want someone that's in Britain. If you're British, you might want, and things like that. There's a lot to think about. And are they the right person for you? I think that's the biggest thing, okay? Is what they're offering right for you? So when you have all this relevant information, then you can make a valid decision for yourself, okay? And most coaches encourage you to look at others. Like I went to a coaching session and they said, oh, who else have you seen? And I was like, what? You want to know? And they were like, yes, we want to know. And it's because they want you to make an informed decision based on yourself and what you prefer, because some coaches may offer this and some coaches may offer this, and you might go, which one's better for me? And that question is probably the biggest key that I can give you today. What is right for me? Not what's right for them, what's right for me. Who is going to help me in my life? And because remember, coaching, the last thing I want to leave you with is coaching relationship is a key part of coaching. Okay. They're going to be your partner in life for 6 months, 3 months, 6 weeks. Okay. You're going to turn up every week to meet them. So for me, it's really big to feel comfortable and safe. So making sure that it feels right to you. Okay. It works for you and it feels right. So go on to ACO, book a few coaches and see what you can offer, see what you might find and what they can offer, because you never really know what may happen. And most consultations are free. Why not reach out? And that's time over. I think I've actually kept on time today. Next week, we're going to be talking about, are you ready for ADHD life coaching? We've talked about a lot of things to do with ADHD coaching, but what about you? Are you ready? So my encouragement for the week is this. Knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress in every society and in every family. You've got this knowledge and you've got the information, but what are you going to do with it? Are you going to go onto the ACO? You're going to do this? You're going to reach out? Why not? What have we got to lose? What benefits it could bring us? But my last thing I want to leave with you today is make sure that if you do reach out to a coach or a few, that you pick the one that's right for you and feels right for you, because you are the expert in yourself. They may be the expert in their field, but you're the expert in yourself. So next week, I hope you come, learn, listen, and experience the world through the eyes of a coaching training. Why not, hey? Have a great week. Have a good week exploring. And we're out. Dear Diary, as the training process goes on, it makes me stop and wonder, could there be more for us? More light, more possibilities, and a place where we can truly be ourselves? I think this journey will be